What's up, everyone? It's another episode of the Tough Runs Don't Last podcast. We're here 2 weeks in a row. Michelle is back with us. I'm your host, Graham Powell, co-host, as I said or mentioned. Michelle's in Gulas on the other screen. Say whatever you want to, Michelle.
Whatever you want to, Michelle.
Okay, I was going to see if you'd actually do that or not. All right, before we get started, let's give a quick shout out to our sponsor. The Tough Runs Don't Last podcast is presented by Rhino Races. Rhino Races is a virtual race series that offers 5 different races: a 5K, a 10K, a half marathon, a marathon, and the Rhino Ultra. You can sign up for one or all 5 of their races at rhinoraces.com. Run your race at your convenience, track it with your fitness app of choice, screenshot your results as proof of completion, submit that screenshot to rhinoraces.com under the submit results section. Once your results are verified by Rhino Races staff, your award will be shipped to you by mail. Also, check out their gear section for t-shirts, wristbands, decals, and more. That's rhinoraces.com. Rhino Races is the premier virtual running series. And you can find us, the Tough Runs Don't Last podcast, on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Follow us on X, Instagram, TikTok, at TR Don't Last. Did I get everything?
I believe so.
Nailed it.
Crushed
Okay,
it.
so yeah, what did you say?
Crushed it.
Okay, it was a good little move to go with it for those of you watching on Spotify and YouTube. Okay, so I went at it solo last week, talked about or just gave an update on my running training schedule, the Benton 2 miler I ran, my own mental health issues, which got lots of those, but we will shoot the breeze on all things running in life this week, especially since Michelle is back with us. Your place looks very picked up, by the way.
Thank you.
I don't know that it looked bad. It just looks cleaner than usual.
It's the
I just
exact same.
Okay, whatever you say. Maybe the room's a little more lit. I don't know. So you've got your stationary bike back there. I saw on Strava this week you had done it like 2 days in a row or something like that. Tell us how that's going, and also how your butt's doing.
I did it 4 days in a row. Um, well, no, I did 3 days in a row, took a break on Friday, and then did it again yesterday. So 4 times within the week.
It's like four
My
days in a row, a lot.
yeah, it was not in a row. Um, my butt is fine. It was just kind of the first couple of weeks total where your butt is just a little sore from it, but then you get used to it. I also have like a gel pad on it, which makes it a little bit easier on me. But um, overall, it's good. I did a wide variety of like workouts this week. I did a 60-minute low impact. I did like a 30
Hang on,
minute.
60 is in 60.
Yes.
Okay.
I did a 30-minute like Disney ride, which was really fun. I did just a 20-minute quick ride.
Hang on. I need more descriptions of each of these. I get the 60-minute, but you can't just say I did a Disney ride and then move on to the next one. What does that consist of, a Disney ride? Because you're in your living room, you're not at Disney.
It was like 2000s Disney music. So it was Hilary Duff, Lindsay Lohan, the Jonas Brothers. It was just like Disney music. Um,
What did Lindsay Lohan sing?
she
I
sang in Freaky Friday.
okay,
She
I
was
did
like,
see that movie 20 years ago. I
yeah.
can't remember anything about the music that was in it other than just the storyline. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So by Disney ride, you mean like Disney soundtrack stuff?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
And then I don't remember what the 20-minute ride theme was. I just wanted to get in a quick ride, so I did that. And then yesterday it was called a Club Bangers with featuring Lil Jon. So he was the DJ of the ride, and it was honestly like one of the most fun rides that I've ever done through Peloton. I was singing and dancing along, and it was super fun. And if you have a Peloton subscription, I highly recommend that ride. It was awesome.
It sounds awesome, and I'm not knocking the workout itself, but if you're able to sing and dance your way through it, are you really getting a good workout in?
Yes, I was dripping in sweat.
You were dripping in sweat?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Well, that's better than doing nothing at all. I just question whether you're giving your best effort if you can sing and dance, though. You see my point?
I do, but just because I can sing and dance doesn't mean that I'm not putting in the effort.
I get that. Again, just saying like if you're going for like, and you may not be going for, I wouldn't say max effort because it's a workout, but just, making sure you're getting enough out of it is my point.
I got plenty out of it, trust me.
Okay. I don't think it's coming out of my mouth like as well as it's going into my head what I'm trying to say. But it's better to be moving than not at all. So it's good because having fun while you work out is necessary too. Because if you're the goal with exercising and all that and training is to be consistent. Because if you're not consistent, you're not going to get very good results. And if you're just, I mean, if you're not an Olympic athlete, like we're about to experience now, where your training is pretty intense every day, probably multiple times a day. If you're Joe Schmo like me and just doing a statewide running series, or if you're, I can't think of for a female, the Joe Schmo version of a female. Michelle just trying to get a ride in consistently. You don't want to be going just balls to the wall every day where you're to the point where you're not looking forward to it. You want to have fun exercising. So it's a good thing. It's a good thing to have fun while doing it. Sing and dance if you want to. I'm probably not going to do that on my run, but in a different type of setting. Sure. Back when I was a trainer, would I get into it like the level 10 classes when stuff was going on? Absolutely. Because if you're having fun, then chances are everybody else is going to have fun as well. So that is important. That is a big part of it. I have inner dialogue going on in my head, like while I'm running. I'm running, I'm not going, race speed by any means, but I'm going fast enough to where I can't comfortably, I guess, talk. Like when I'm running with my brother, I can talk every now and then, but it's not like I'm sitting there having a conversation. So so I'm unable to sing and dance is my long-winded way of saying.
And that's okay. I'm not trying to do, like you said, like max effort. That's not my goal. I just want to move my body. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm gonna have fun, like you said, because I will get bored or I will get burnt out and I will just stop doing it.
No, I completely get that. That's fair. If you get to where you're dreading your workout, then you're eventually going to stop doing it. And it's not good to just not. You need to be looking forward to it. You need to enjoy it rather than just. I mean, because I'm not giving max effort every time I go for a training run. I'm not running as hard as I can 4+ miles every time I go out and do it. That isn't a race for the race day occasion. Absolutely, I'm going to go give my best effort. But that's what training is for. You train to get yourself in as good of shape as you can so that you can give a solid max effort on race day. When you told me that, like the singing and dancing part, I guess I wasn't necessarily trying to be critical, but what popped into my head was years ago, I was at a local gym and I was running on the treadmill. And I'm talking, this is like 10 years ago or so, maybe longer. I was running on the treadmill and these two middle-aged women were on a couple of more or on a couple of treadmills, like walking side by side and just yapping it up with each other, just being chatty Cathy back and forth, which is fine, whatever you want to do. But I get on there and I start to run, and I'm going like, and I have the speed at 7, I believe. So I mean, it's the treadmill gets a little loud, at least that loud enough to where it was apparently making it difficult for them to talk. And she one of them, they like looked at me as I'm running, and one of them leaned over to the other and said, "That's too loud." And I was thinking, this is a gym. Okay, like I'm here to work. I'm here to get a workout in, not socialize with my friend. If you want to do that, that's fine, but don't get. I don't want to say huffy, but you could tell they were annoyed. Like don't get annoyed that I'm in here to get a good workout in. I didn't come in here to hang out with my friend. It's cool that you're doing that, fine, but don't get annoyed that I'm getting my workout on. So I guess that's what popped into my head as that happened. But apples and oranges, essentially.
Yes.
Uh, okay, let's talk about a little bit about the life portion of this show. You sent me a picture of your open faced BLT sandwich today,
Yes.
which I was confused why it was open face. So it was very pretty,
Hmm.
but it would have been, I would think, easier to eat with another piece of bread over it so you can actually sandwich it rather than what you have to do, fork and knife it.
No, I just held it like
How did you hold it?
kind of like a piece of pizza.
Okay.
Um, no, so in this sourdough journey that I have been on, I am learning that weather really matters, like the humidity and the temperature and things like that, and how your bread rises, and different things like that. So I was attempting to make just a regular loaf of bread, but I over fermented the bread, which just mean it overproofed. So um, I was like, okay, well, I'm still gonna bake it just in a different way. And so I basically made flatbread, but it was a little crunchy. So it would not have been good with two pieces. It would have like that would have been too crunchy for a BLT.
Okay. Did you put mayo or anything on it?
There was mayo on it.
Okay. All right. Just curious.
Mayo, lettuce, tomato, bacon.
I know it's not a BLT, but thanks for letting me know.
You're welcome.
I also made flatbread uh this weekend.
Did you though?
Yeah, it was blueberry pancakes. They were delicious. I made 6 of them. It said on the Bisquick box the amount of whatever needed to be, like cups of it plus all that. Whatever the instructions said 14 pancakes would be made. And I didn't see other options. So I was like, we'll just do that and I'll have leftovers. It made 6 of them because I'm not making a little baby pancake. I mean, it wasn't the size of a dinner plate either, but I felt like it was a normal size pancake, and it made 6 of them, which was adequate. I had 3 of them yesterday. I gave Dexter one, and I had the last 2 today. So, yeah, I made flatbread too.
I
I
mean,
also played with my new hedge trimmers. See, I considered basically my wrapping back around to my training, as I mentioned last week. Basically, the best I can do this week is 2 4+ mile training runs and yard work on the weekends. Like I want to get 3 workouts in a week, and I count yard work as one of them because I mean I sweat my butt off, and I guess I technically got that in yesterday trimming my hedges. Um, but it was man, it was really hot yesterday, so I mean I definitely got my sweat on. I was wanting to mow today. It doesn't look like that's going to be possible because we have some. You said it's raining very hard, or did? Is it still raining where you're at?
yes.
Okay, so well, it's 3:08 and it hasn't hit us yet. I say that, I think I hear a little bit of thunder, so it's probably on its way here. So it doesn't look like I'll be getting to mow today, which is fine. I got to mow last week. I just really wanted to do it today so I could get that, not have to unclog the blower every, 4 or 5 pushes, just doing the yard every 2 weeks. It really needs it every week right now, but it's what it is. It doesn't look like the weather's going to allow that today. It is 4th of July week we have coming up. So we both are off work for that. So happy birthday, America. And we'll attempt a baseball game the night prior to that, Travelers game. Travelers will be in town. And getting a little bit off topic, but then again, it's that's what we do here on this show. All right, so I did get my 2 training runs in this week, and I will talk a little bit more about that in a second. Okay, and I guess I will talk about that now. By a second, I mean. So I got my training run in Wednesday. I try to run when there's daylight out just because one, I can see better, two, cars can see me better, three, the sun's up and it's just, I don't know, it's just nicer. I can sweat a little bit more. I like it that way. Did the same thing Thursday. I guess the one downside to that is there's more people out and about. And I don't know, that's you take that for whatever you want. Good or bad thing. I say it as a downside, I guess in this sense, because I told you the story about what happened on my training run Thursday. And I guess I will tell all of you now. So I'm running my usual route. I run by an elementary school that does a loop in the parking lot. So and I turn around and basically come back. That's kind of my halfway point. So I'm running, I just go my usual path. I'm on a sidewalk, which is fairly close to a road. And there's three what looks to be 12, 13-year-old boys riding their bikes, just being kids. And I'm running by, and one of them says, "Good job, man! Way to be running, way to be out here running," and all like being supportive. And I do like a little wave thing at him. And as I pass by, and again, I'm not right by them. Like there's the road, and then there's a sidewalk, maybe 10, 15 yards away, like that I'm running on, and there's a fence in between and everything. So we're not right by each other. And this is important because as I pass by, he goes, "If you stop, you're a bitch." And so I naturally, I'm like, "What?" And in hindsight, like looking back at it now, it's funny, but in the moment, I didn't find it funny. I was like, this like 13-year-old boy thought it was okay to talk to a grown man stranger that way. And that's, naturally you're just like, and so I mumbled, I didn't mumble it. That's a lie. I just, said idiot, I'll put it that way. And the kid had to have heard me. And he was mouthing more stuff as I'm running away, like I'm running away. Like just because it's just my natural route that I'm running. So I'm just continuing on with my route. It's like I'm not gonna. What am I gonna do? Like stop and like go over there and confront the kid? Like I was like, no, I'm just gonna stay on my route. But he's mouthing. I can't make out what he's saying, but he's mouthing something kind of more sounded more aggressive in a more aggressive tone. And I'm on my natural turn at this point. Like I'm doing the turnaround. And as I turn around, they see me turning around and running back toward them, and they just take off. I mean, they're on their bikes and they book it away from me. So I'm sure that they thought that I was coming back for them. And I even had in my head, if they're still there, because I knew I was going to turn around, if they're still there, then I'm going to go let them know that what they said is not okay to do, which was my plan. But they were long gone by the time I got there. So I just continued on my route and I run down the street a couple of streets further from the elementary school I do the turnaround at. I just turn down this one street because it has a nice incline in the middle and it just gives me a little bit of extra push. So I go down that street and I go all the way down the street. Doing that in itself is probably 3/4 of a mile, like two and like there and back. Total is probably 3/4 of a mile. So I go down to the end of the street, turn around back as usual. And as I'm coming back over that hill in the middle, I can see two of those same kids, because I see their bikes and I see them, and they see me coming running at them. And they take off running to whatever house they go in. And I'm making a mental note of it because I'm still a pretty good ways back, but I know it's one of two or so houses. So as I run up to it, I'm looking for them and I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm just looking for them, and I don't stop or anything. But these little brats took their bikes, and there was no garage door open or anything like that. They ran inside with their bikes so that it wasn't obvious what house that they lived at or hung out at, whatever it was. And that made me laugh a little bit because I was like, it's such a little punk kid thing to do, to mouth off at a grown up and then run away. And it just, I don't know, that part did tickle me a little bit. And but I was actively looking for them. It's probably a good thing they ran off because I wasn't going to handle it responsibly. Maybe that's the word, because I had a bad day. I was having a bad day already, and then you mouth that at me, and I'm a very prideful person anyway. So my plan was to run up to the kid and be like, "I'm a what?" and then see if he was going to stand on it, and then go from there. But clearly, the kid wasn't going to stand on what he said because they ran off like just little punk tweens or whatever they are. So, but in hindsight, I guess it was funny because now I wasn't stupid enough as a kid to mouth off at a grown man stranger or something like that. But I'd be lying if I said I didn't. I, I don't want to say hang out, but run around with kids that did the same type of thing at that age. So, although dumb, I get it. I guess. Anyway, it made the training run more interesting. I'll put it that way.
I think it's hilarious because one, that's something that you would say to yourself, like if you stop, you're a bitch.
Yes,
Um,
correct.
and then two, though you know that those kids ran into that house and were like, "This man's chasing us," when you're just on your normal route, but like in their head, you are now chasing them down, which is kind of funny.
Yeah, and I wasn't running like a race pace, but my pace is a pretty good pace. So maybe being almost 40, they thought that I was genuinely chasing them. I don't know. It is something I say to myself all the time, whether it be a training run during a race, but that doesn't mean I'm going to let anyone else, much less some little brat kid, say it to me. Like, yeah, I'll say it to myself, but no one else is going to. Absolutely not.
I think it's hilarious.
It is funny. If somebody had told me that it happened to them, I would laugh too. I say happened to them. It was just the whole situation is comical. It is. I agree. It made it not boring. I'll put it that way. But like I said, I was in a bad mood, and I wasn't in a laughable mood at that point. Like I had full intentions of I don't want to say hoping they were there, like when I turned around, but kind of was. It was like I was like, if they're still there and that kid wants to stand on it, I'm gonna let him know that that's not cool to do. And I had every intention of that. But no, they hightailed it out of there. They knew what they did, and or one of them did. In fact, when the I know how it is when you have a friend that does something like that. The kids were probably calling him an idiot and saying, "No, what are you doing? You know, this guy's going to kill us." But I wouldn't have. But I would, would have made them not feel very good for sure. At least the one that did it. But yes, it's funny in hindsight.
Absolutely.
Still no rain here, by the way.
It is still raining here. I can hear it.
Okay. Well, that made the training run interesting this week. So cool-ish. I mean, I would have rather, yeah, well, I'm not going to say that, but uh, interesting. It made for a good story. It made for content, put it
Yeah.
that way. I
Yes.
told you about it that night.
Yes.
Yeah. So anyway, so that's the last run I got in this week. Like I said, just yard work was planned for this weekend. Don't know that that's going to happen today, but I'll be back to it, the normal routine next week. I say that. What day is July 4th?
Thursday.
I'll see. I'll get a run in Thursday. I'll be off work that day. Doubt I'll be watching the hot dog eating contest because I don't have a television right now, at least one that works. I don't
Unfortunate.
know that I want to get into that on the show. I'm going to be, yeah, I'll be burying the on TV manufacturer. That's ONN. Yeah, yeah, we don't have to get into that. Just know that I don't have a television right now, and that you probably never need to purchase an on TV. That's ONN TV at Walmart. Do not purchase this item. I would give it 0 out of 5 stars. I bought it March 9th. Its screen went black 2 or 3 nights ago, and the manufacturer is basically just saying, hey, "Yeah, I'm let's let it go." Or I'm not going to let it go with them, but I'm going to spare you all the pain that I've been dealing with working with the on TV. That's ONN with a stupid little period by it. The Roku TV that they sell at Walmart. That's a cheap piece of garbage, and it shows because it didn't last me 4 months. So, and they're not handling the taking care of it very well. Okay. So, what are your workout plans this week, Michelle?
My goal is to get 3 rides in again. Um, I don't know length or type, but just something. Again, just trying to move my body. In the summer, it's hard because I get really dizzy and nauseous, even just being inside. So
I was gonna say you're working out inside though.
it doesn't matter.
What do
It's
you have your air set at?
during the day, it's on 72. Like when I'm home, it's on 72.
Okay, I've got mine at 71 right now. I had it at 72 yesterday, and I got pretty hot, so I bumped it up to a whole or down to an entire 71 today. But I do have a very good AC unit. That is one good thing about the place I live in. The AC unit is less than 2 years old. So I do have that going for me. And I change the filter religiously. So air works great in this place. Don't know about everything else, but the air at least works great. So I do have that going for me. I like working out in the heat. Now, I know that you have health limitations, so you can't necessarily do that. But I love working out in the heat. Absolutely love it. Don't like hanging out and chilling in it. Even though we're going to be doing that Wednesday night, going to the Travelers game, but that's different. We get to see a ball game. We both are off work the next day. I get to eat barbecue nachos.
And they're gonna have fireworks.
Oh, are they? I mean, it makes
Yeah.
sense that they are going to have that the night before.
Yep, the patriotic fireworks.
Well, I don't think they play the next day.
They don't.
So, okay, so that would make sense. Oh, it's going to be a great fireworks show too. Are
I
you
hope
going to are you going to film it with your phone?
no.
Okay. I won't either. I don't enjoy the social media posts of people filming the fireworks that they're watching. Like we know what it looks like. We get it. It doesn't look as good on camera as it does like with the naked eye. It's kind of a silly thing to post.
Yeah.
Even and you're gonna see it. We're gonna see it Wednesday. We're gonna see all these people with their phone out doing this of the fireworks show rather than just taking it all in.
I love fireworks like so much. And have I been the person to like take pictures? Yes. But videos of fireworks are dumb because it's just loud. And like, if you can get a nice picture, great. I don't want to see a 30-second video though of your fireworks.
That's mainly my point. It's too hard to get a nice picture. It's to the point where you're not enjoying it.
Yeah.
It's like when we went to the Mavericks. I say we being my brother and uncle. We went to the Grizzlies Mavericks game in November, and my brother spent what felt like 50 possessions trying to get a highlight of Luca. And it's like, dude, you're not even enjoying the game at this point. You're doing all this work to get one little snippet of Luka Doncic, and he finally got it. But the effort that had to go into that, I was like, no, I got a photo of the tip off, and I took a couple of photos of pregame, and then I just watched the game because I want to enjoy. I want to be in the moment and enjoy it. Like we took a picture like together pregame by the court. I took a couple I was like, hey, that's Luca, and took a picture, and then I got a good picture of the tip off. That's all I needed. I just want to enjoy the show the rest of the time. And yeah, I don't. You're not going to enjoy it doing this the whole time with your phone.
In today's like culture of social media being so important, I feel like so many people forget to live in like the now. And because they're so focused on like what is this going to look like on social media and what are other people going to think about the experience that I'm having instead of just experiencing what is happening to them. Um and that was like something when the last time I traveled internationally, I completely shut off all social media because I was like that's not what I'm wanting to do. So I for 2 weeks was off of all social media. I took pictures because I wanted to remember with my friend and I went to a wedding. So like I did take pictures, but it wasn't to be like, here's what I'm doing, here's my post, because you're gonna miss out on so many things when you do that.
And like when I took my Euro trip in December, I of course took a lot of photos, but I didn't post a thing till maybe a week or two later when I got back.
Hmm.
Like I posted about it when I had nothing to do when I was home. Like I'm not posting while I'm there.
Yeah.
My mom was doing that even. She was posting stuff while we were there. And granted, she wasn't doing it like while we were out and about. She was doing it in our apartment or whatever room we were in that night when she wasn't doing anything else. But for me, it's like, no, I'll do all that when I get home. I want to be here, like I want to be in the moment. I, of course, had my best friend with me. That helped, you know, and she was by herself in that regard. But yeah, I had my best friend with me, so we could go out and like when we'd come back in Belt from Belgium or where we were in Brussels, we'd come back for the night and be like, hey, let's just go up the road and do this. So I mean, there was no sitting around doing anything like that until we were winding down and getting ready to go to sleep. But yeah, you gotta. It's important to live in the moment, and it's better to experience it yourself and rather than I don't know. Like when I think of stuff like that, I go back. I think of like back when people had video cameras and they, record their kids doing a school play or something like that, or little league or soccer, pee wee football, things like that. You want those memories and stuff. I get it, but at the same time, I'm like, it's it's different when you're watching a fireworks show that the rest of us are watching, and it's your fireworks show. We'll get to do it again next year. Same
Exactly.
same day and everything. Same day, time, all that stuff. So,
Yeah.
in other words, I agree with you. All right. So, what else do we want to talk about in pop culture and more? If
I don't
does that
know.
count as pop culture?
Maybe, probably not. I feel like we've covered a lot this week. And I feel like we're good.
No, I want to talk about what I saw regarding the new Crow movie coming out. We had this discussion. Uh,
Okay.
yeah, this is the Tough Runs Don't Last podcast, and we're going to discuss the new Crow movie that's coming out with Bill Skarsgård. I think I said his last name right. There's a lot of A's in there. Three of them, I think. Two are back to back at the end. So, yeah, he is going to play Brandon Lee's character, and I'm bringing it up because you've seen the movie too,
Yes.
like the original. Now you saw it with me, so what were your thoughts on the original Crow movie? By the way,
It was weird. I can understand how it's like a cult favorite. Like people are gonna love it and people are gonna hate it. And so I get that. It was
hang
very
on, I
weird.
don't know that anybody hated it. It is a cult classic. I don't hate's a strong word. Maybe if it wasn't your thing, that's one thing, but like no, it's a cult classic.
Yeah, it was weird.
Well, I love the original. I saw the original my junior year of high school with my best friend. It was awesome. Loved it then. The main character was Bruce Lee, is Bruce Lee's son, by the way, who died on set of filming that movie. And you can look up all that if you're interested. But of course, that's going to amplify just the legend status of it. When somebody dies, especially in something like that, it elevates their whatever you want to call it. I can't think of the term times 10. It makes you think of them different. And so that happens. I mean, he looked super badass and cool in it to me and to a lot of other people that love the movie. So naturally, any remake, people are going to be a little bit skeptical. They made like three Crow movies after that, and they were all terrible. Um, I don't think I actually saw the second one, but the I saw two others, and I didn't like either one. But the original was on point. Very, it's what it is. Bless you. It's a very cult classic thing, by the way. Michelle Sneeze, for those of you wondering. And if anybody's going to do the character justice, it probably is this guy. It probably is Bill Skarsgård, the guy. He's a great Pennywise, which he will be returning to play Pennywise in the match show Welcome to Derry, by the way, that's coming out. So he will be returning as Pennywise. And he was also in this action movie called Boy Kills World, something like that. And didn't see the movie, but it looks like a lot of action stuff, which you're going to have to do if you're playing the Crow character. So I could see that. Wasn't crazy about his hair from the pictures I've seen in the Crow movie. He's got short hair. Like I get it. You want to be different, like you want to be your own Crow character, but at the same time, you're playing the Crow character. And Brandon Lee's hair was long and awesome and looked cool, and I just felt like that's what you need to be that Crow character. But we'll see how it goes. I don't know when it comes out, but I will be checking it out for sure. It is weird, but it's supposed to be weird. And even then, I don't know that it was weird. It was just I don't know, it's a dark revenge type of movie, which right up my alley. I love it. A Clockwork Orange is a weird movie. Like you could say that's weird.
That's also a weird movie.
I like that movie too, though. But yes, that is weird. Which I don't have again, don't have a problem with weird if it's good. But I like that movie. But I would classify it as weird. I don't know if I'd throw The Crow in there as weird.
I do, and those are also both movies that I will never watch again. One and done.
So you're not going to watch the remake?
No.
Well, that's silly.
I've seen the movie. Why do I need to watch it again?
You want to watch Inside Out 2?
That is a completely different movie. It's not a remake.
It's just the same movie again. Like that's what 2 is.
It is, no, it is a continuation of the story. It is not a remake. It is
Thanks for laying it
completely
out with
different.
your hands for our viewers on Spotify and YouTube.
I talk with my hands. It's not a problem.
I talk with my mouth, but I did learn that Ethan Hawke and Uma Thurman's kid is a character on it, which she's the girl that plays, I can't remember her name. She's the coworker of the guy with kind of the mullet in Stranger Things who works at the mall. I can't remember her character's name, but I liked her on Stranger Things, and I could see her being good in this. I just thought I was like, hey, Ethan Hawke and Uma Thurman had a kid, and that's her. I just thought that was neat when I looked that up.
Yeah.
Made me feel old too, because she's 25 years old. So yeah, that I was like, okay, well, I'm definitely almost 40 then. So I would have gone to see that. You wanted to see it this weekend.
I did, and then I decided I did not want to go see it.
It's probably a good thing because I ended up having too much to do between fighting with the on TV people, worst TV ever, and playing with my new hedge trimmers and trying to mow today, but that's not going to happen. So I'll probably just go to Walmart and get my prescription meds and my dog some more dog food. That's probably what I'll do when I get out of here.
I just hung out with friends yesterday. We went to lunch and then Sam's Club, and then we played mermaids in my friend's pool, and then ended the night watching Is It Cake 3 on Netflix.
What is that?
It's a TV show where you have to figure out, is it cake? So it's like hyper realistic cakes, and you have to figure out which one is cake and which one isn't.
Okay, so is it a loaf of bread or cake?
No, is it, well, I mean, I guess. Is it a loaf of bread, or is it or is it a cake that looks like a loaf of bread?
That's what
Yes.
I mean. Yeah.
Yes.
Did you get any of them wrong?
Oh yeah. Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
those are very realistic looking. I mean, it'll look like a Coke can, or well, I saw one that looked like a puppy, and the person cut into its face, and it was a piece of cake. So you're like, no, and it's like, okay, it's cake, so never mind.
Yeah. So
Okay, I haven't had Netflix in a long time, so ever since they stopped password sharing, I of course that eliminated me as a viewer.
yeah.
So I my budgeting allowed one streaming service for me. So it was either Max or Netflix, and I went with Max, and I don't regret it. Um, yeah, I don't regret it, but yeah, I did like Netflix.
Yeah, there weren't as many shows as like there used to be. So Netflix used to be really, really great, and now I feel like it's just okay. And I just wasn't watching it enough to justify the like $16 a month.
Yeah, the movies that I saw on there just were they looked they just didn't look good. They looked like your generic movies you'd see like in a movie of somebody like in a movie wanting to watch some movies, and that would be the movies that popped up.
Yeah. It
But
it
did
went
that make sense?
downhill for sure. So
Yeah, I was like, yeah, I know I like TV shows. I don't watch a lot of movies and stuff anyway. Now Netflix has its TV shows and all that that I like. But no, I'll go with Max. I'm happy with it. I'll stick with it. I'm gonna catch up on House of Dragon, all that, whenever I get a TV that works. So I don't whenever that may be. It might be a while. I don't know. I'll leave that alone. I'm just glad my internet's working now.
that's true.
Um, yeah, I was having some internet issues today, so we had to start and restart the show a couple of times, but that's all right. All right, so I will be back to running, yeah, my usual schedule. I say that, I guess. I don't know. It doesn't look like I'll be doing it Wednesday, but Thursday probably, maybe Friday too. I don't know because we're going to a ball game Wednesday night, Travelers game, so we'll be doing that. And one or both of us will be back next week to talk more things running, biking, life. But till then, I guess we'll see y'all next time. And there's no guest. We'll see you next time.
See ya.